And there you have it at the beginning of the stream. My little intro. It's about the right length, I think, for an intro. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. I think shorter than that, you just start hit the button and you start talking. I think a lot of nobody's going to ever see your opening words. Not that they're worth seeing or anything like that. And then if you have a 20-minute intro, I think it's very frustrating. I find those very frustrating. Couple minutes while everyone is in shopping. Well, Mesa was a great flyover yesterday. By the way, while you're here, I know you might just be here for a second. I know you commented about, YouTube. I was talking about YouTube. What happens when I play the bass on the because I go to two services. Twitch, you can't publish the VOD, and then I was saying something about muting on YouTube, but I misspoke. What I meant to say, it doesn't mute it, and it's still there. I can watch my VOD. I was watching it yesterday, earlier today from yesterday's. I like my new bass. You can hear it really well. You can hear it when I make mistakes, so you can really tell that I'm playing the bass. That's the important thing. And it's kind of loud, but still, I think it's about the audio mix is about right between my bass and the song, which is what I'm checking for. Anyway, what I meant to say is that what YouTube does is it says because there's copyright music detected, and you have to go and look at your video manager to see this. Because there's copyright music detected, we're limiting the reach of we're limiting, and so it affects their algorithm that recommends your VODs to people who've never seen you before and aren't subscribers to you. But it doesn't affect the ability of your subscribers and you to look at that VOD and to listen to all that copyrighted music for whatever reason. That's just how YouTube does it. So it's not that there's no effect. And so what happens is, okay, so the 2 days that I don't do Rocksmith bass, those VODs will go out to more random people. And then all of it potentially all over the world. Although it doesn't seem to ever go to more than 30 or 40 people. So, and then, the Rocksmith bass ones, because those are actual copyrighted songs. Those are full songs that are fully copyrighted. It won't promote those, which is fine because I'm not monetized, so I don't really care. So no, the actual, I'm going to keep doing the Rocksmith bass. The repercussions of doing play that musical segment, but the point is, it effectively poisons your whole segment. I mean, if you're the kind of person who makes money on YouTube, for example, like I know my friend Mistress Moore streams on Twitch and YouTube, so when she multi-streams to YouTube, she can't have her background music on because YouTube doesn't like it. Twitch has no problem with it. She doesn't have VOD. It's a long, complicated thing, but it's annoying for her because YouTube is very strict from their point of view in that you can't play songs while you're streaming, like you can on Twitch. Again, the same thing will happen to her, but she's monetized. So instead of making money on that video, she won't make any money on that video. That's a big deal. So yeah, for her, having copyright music on a YouTube video is a real serious issue. She won't get paid. I don't care because I'm not getting paid either way. But for people who are, that's why you're not going to see a lot of people doing what I'm doing on YouTube live, honestly, because most of the people are probably eventually thinking about making money, and you just can't. And the point is, right, see, if I did a 6-hour stream and the last 30 minutes of it was doing Rocksmith, that would affect the whole stream. It doesn't separate. That means the whole stream is now striked, right? That's the other thing, is that if you don't separate them into if it's going to be a separate segment, you really should do multiple streams on YouTube. Like, I shouldn't just do my break and then keep going. Twitch doesn't care. And again, it would be more complicated and much more pain in the ass. I'm not going to do that because it's purely an issue of whether I would make more money or not, and I'm not making any money. Anyway, here is the Diet Coke. Today's Diet Coke is sponsored by FIFA. I love it that the marketing department is going crazy at Coke with basically coming up with new designs for the Diet Coke can. Consumers have demanded that for years. Oh, okay. Like the last Diet Coke I bought was sponsored by Santa Claus. I guess he's got a pretty good budget there in the North Pole. He's making a lot. Big marketing. Mo, please. Mo is just he's looking at this door and he does this. He's pining away. He's acting like he's the most bored creature in the world, and it's my job to entertain him at all times for 24 hours a day. Cats. Once they get in their mind that they're bored and they need you to do something for them. Very tenacious. Mo, come here. Come over here. Say hello. He's not. He's staring at the door really hard. Okay, go ahead and see you later. Yeah. Couple of pic. Oh yeah, no, I saw the pictures of the dam and the bridge. The dam looked real good in the game. The bridge was not as good because it didn't have that big blue arch. I don't know what we should call that into Asobo. Hey, Asobo, I'm calling it into Asobo right now. Hey, Asobo, listen to me. Can you fix the Roosevelt Dam? What if, I think I mentioned this the other day, that unless the what if rises to an extremely high level of originality, which by definition it can't, I might enjoy them off stream, but I'm not going to kind of comment, bring them on stream and watch them. And again, if you find content like that that's generated by the same authors or the same group of people or similar authors, similar group of people, you got to bring that to my attention. I don't know if there's going to be any more Skibbity Toilet actual freedom. As we've talked about, the actual creator may have screwed himself by selling the intellectual property, or maybe he did pretty well. We don't really know what the financial deal was, I'm saying, but that might be the end of it in terms of his output. Although there's always been rumors it's going to be a movie, Michael Bay, blah blah blah. So it could, and if that comes, then there's going to be a whole more kind of new, I think, a kind of more a reinterest, a reignition of interest in the originals. But which are always going to be available. But yeah, I don't think so. But thanks for coming by. I'm going to be flying around. What are we going to do? We're going to fly around. We're going to drink some Diet Coke. Right here in my hand here, I have the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller, and it's now in your face. It's beautiful. It's blue, and it is Bluetooth. So, and it is a controller. It's an Xbox controller. This is really the secret to flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some people don't realize that. They buy Microsoft Flight Simulator, they say, "Oh, I'll just use a mouse and keyboard. Can't be too horrible." It's pretty horrible. It's really not the same at all. I got the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller, and I also have my throttle body, my throttle quadrant here. You can't see it, but you can hear it. It's three of these things. And I got the Diet Coke, freshly poured. We've been over this. So no, sorry, no what ifs today, but unless again, you can still bring them into my attention because they may be really incredibly good. But as being that they're remixes, I don't know. I don't think so. At least again, sometimes I like to watch these just on my own time, kind of thing, but not necessarily the group. With people. Although it's fun, it is. I like the concept of kind of watching the animated YouTube videos and talking. In a window, that actually is, I have no problem with that. It just needs to be pretty good stuff that, that generates thoughts. Most of the time we were watching Skibbity Toilet, I was like, why is the landscape on fire? Where's the fire department? Or, what is the ignition source? Bushes? Because they burn out pretty quickly. What's the fuel source here? Who ignited the bushes? Is there a fire-breathing dragon that just went through that we didn't see? Because I would like to have seen that. But no, just the landscape's always burning. Anyway, cheesy, a little cheesy. And that's what I like. It has to be kind of cheesy and interesting. All right, so then there'll be the flying around here. We're going to fly around Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's going to be some big brain games today at some point, roughly in 45 minutes to an hour, sometime in that range. I don't know exactly where we're going to fly to. Don't know what plane we're going to fly around in. Probably the gyro, and I think we're going to do the gyro. I have to go back to the ranch. I haven't been to my ranch in like a month. I don't know if the place is burned down. Maybe they had a pizza party there. Maybe it's covered in snow. Who knows? We're going to find out. And then somewhere else. As I mentioned, the big brain games, which is me doing this game, that game, the other game, the fourth game, the fifth game, and then finally the last game. And we'll do like we do every day. And then, if you want to come by and you drop some hints, I guess it's appreciated as long as you're not cheating and having done the game in advance. You know what I mean? That's not good. I don't want to know. Anyway. After the big brain game, there's going to be a short break where I play my mid roll. And after the mid roll, my God, this is going forever. This is just the intro, which is just saying what's going to happen. We've been doing this for 3 hours already. Oh my Lord. Would I rather pee out of? We're going to talk about that in great detail much later, in about 3 hours. So stick around until then. I don't want to see you leaving. Okay. Because I have a whiteboard, and we're gonna and a markers. I want to bring it out. We're gonna do some diagramming, but that's not for 3 hours. So you're gonna have to stick around. All right. So anyway, there's gonna be the big brain games. Boy, it's guitar day. Let me show you the guitar. Not only am I going to show you the guitar, I'm going to wrap it around here and play a little guitar here. This is one of my favorite guitars. It's actually one of my more recent guitars. It's 2017 though. It's still pretty kind of getting old. It is a Gibson Les Paul, but not one of the fancier ones. It's called a Tribute, although that's not really a real model. It's really a studio that's got a nice paint job, which is fine because studios are great. But it's a beautiful. I mean, you just got to see how gorgeous this guitar is. But I'm looking forward to playing the guitar. Probably try to sing a song or two. By all means, you want to hit the mute button during that segment. I don't play. I've been playing. I would kind of circle through. I've got like 15 guitars, and there's about 6 or 7 of them that are kind of in rotation: the Telecaster, the Stratocaster, the Jazzmaster. My 5 Les Paul, 4 of my Les Pauls. One of them is not in great shape. The Schecter, the PRS, and then my fancy cheap guitar. So I guess there's around 8 of them, and I just kind of cycle through them, sometimes several per day, just because I tune them up, check out the action, make sure they're the strings, if I need to change the strings, all that stuff. I'm just kind of a guitar nerd, I guess you would call it, and I'm many kinds of nerd, but Microsoft Flight Simulator nerd, I guess. All right, so I was gonna say let's grab the gyro. We're gonna grab my gyrocopter. It's basically one of most. I enjoy it. Look, what are you gonna do about it? I don't remember what it is, but we'll find it. It's in here somewhere. It's just a fun plane to fly, and it's always interesting to fly, and it also requires it's like many of the planes that I enjoy flying, a very unique set of skills. Okay, there it is. Blue is fine, but I want to do something different, so we'll go with green. Almost a choice I almost never make. It's really pretty. And we're gonna go, and as I mentioned before, I bought a ranch not too long. Well, it's about a year ago now. It's in Wyoming. So WY32 Circle B Ranch, Kemmer, Wyoming. We're gonna have to see what it's like there. It looks like it's not that well. We'll have to see what the ground is actually like. All right, so we're gonna start in the parking area. We're gonna take off. It looks like it's dry. I think this is a very dry area in the winter. Probably doesn't really get that much. I don't know. Well, hard to say. We're also going to be right near the Diet Cokeville Airport. That's usually where we end up landing. But it's just a fun ranch. It's just a beautiful ranch. Oh, what happened to my thingy here? It's just a beautiful ranch. It's got horses. It's got cattle. It's got places. This time of year, we're not growing any crops. It's got a barn you can fly through. You can actually go barnstorming, which is kind of the whole point. You can actually probably barnstorm through that building too. I've never really thought about it. Okay, there's me there. There's my gyro. There's a bunch of farm equipment. Okay. It's getting real framey. Hopefully that's okay. Maybe it's just loading stuff. There's your thing. There's farm equipment. Anyway, here's a picnic area here. There's some chickens. There's a picnic. What is going on here? Why is it always exactly the same level of extremely messiness? Pizza boxes, beer bottles, and yet a perfectly empty trash can. Perfectly empty. Just feet away. What is wrong with my employees? There they are. I'm going to go over there and kill them. Now, we're not going to do anything. Every single time, it's the same story. And it is a story. It's not that's not, somebody thought it out. It's not accidental. All right, let's move on to the actual flying around. Battery, start power, check our throttle. Throttle looks good. Throttle looks good. Okay, fuel valves open, fuel pumps on. Push the starter. Note that the engine started up, a lot of smoke. Well, dust, a little dusty area. Right. we're fine. I like that green. I don't know if we've flown green. I have a lot of different colors for this gorgeous gyro. All right, so let's see. We're going to start up here. We're going to power up this boy here, the transponder. Let's see. Radio should be on. We should be able to connect up to the radio tower. There's no, you know, it's just, we're just going to take off. But we'll let them know. There's no tower here. It's a private ranch. We have our own little airstrip here. All right, so the gyro has, it kind of looks like a helicopter. It's not a helicopter. It's just got that form of propulsion back, and this helicopter and the rotor is not powered during flight. It has a power rotation function. To pre-rotation. Okay, so the barn that we can fly through is back there. Although, come to think of it, I wonder if you could fly through there if you're really good. I mean, I'm sure you could. The barn, I think, is a little bigger. That one you cannot fly through. It's really cool. It's got all these, you know, it's got there's a couple of dogs there. Ranch, they got a couple of ranch dogs, and they're always loading up that cattle trailer for market. I don't know what time of year they'd be doing that. And then there's all those gray areas are quite green. You got a horse pasture here with these wild horses running around. I don't know if they're wild. But it's pretty cool. You don't always see them running around right next to you like that. It's pretty cool. I love having a ranch. This is the little dirt strip. Oh, we're going to run just uphill here. Okay. This is the little dirt strip you can take off a biplane or a little plane or a little crop duster in here. And notice here these barrels. If you ever look at them close up, there's always little horses in there. There's cattle there. It's really realistic. There's a little feeding trough back there. The barrels have flames, so at night, you can kind of see. It's really impossible to land at night, especially with this one. All right, we're here. We're going to prepare for takeoff. We'll reduce power a little bit here. Okay, get ready for takeoff. So what do we do to get ready for takeoff? First, we say hello to our instructor. How are you doing today, ma'am? You're looking quite nice today. Oh, dear. Oh, I don't think she appreciated that. I think she may have been like, hey. All right, so let's see. We got the rotor brake is currently on. Got to turn that off. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the pre-rotation feature. All right, well, we want our handbrake on, right? What's our actual? Okay, yeah. Parking brake is on. Rotor brake is off. Put the engine to middle, just before it would push us. And then we squeeze our pre-rotation lever here. We're going to do this here. What's that going to do is going to use this little Bendix gear and cable arrangement to transfer power from the engine to the so it pre-rotates. That will give us a very short takeoff. So now we can give full power, reduce the parking brake. And what I'm doing is kind of reducing that power there. And then basically we just pull back, and we are flying. There's your horsies. Oh, that's cow. That's a cow. Cattle. It's a steer. And then, yeah. We're flying. So, yeah, you want to watch your rotation there. But yeah, so these areas here, these circular agricultural zones here turn green. But so far we've been flying around a lot. I expected it to be fully snow covered at certain times of the year. I kind of want to buzz these horses down here. Where were they? They were over here. Where they went? Oh, they're over there. There's a guy chasing around a steer, trying to rope him. Hold on a second. This is kind of interesting. You know, I don't know if I've ever noticed this before. This particular animation, which may only happen during certain times, but he is roping that calf. Is he going to successfully do it? I've never seen this before. I've had that. We've been here 100 times. I wonder if he's just going to chase him around in circles. But he might have been here this whole time. I've just never come to this section. But maybe he's going to eventually rope the steer, the little calf. That's cute though. I mean, it's a good animation of a guy with a lasso. I've never seen this before. This is kind of cool. That's why we're watching it for a while. I just want to see if there's that termination in this, or just, yeah, it looks like a loop. The horse scallop could use a little improvement. It's not bad. But that guy's right arm is going to get tired if we weren't digitally created. All right, back in plane. Where is it? That doesn't matter. Insert. There it is. All right, that's where it was. All right. So next thing to do is to yeah, exactly. It's the pushing that cattle around. But I don't think I've ever looked at that section. But yeah, it looks like he's just going in a big loop through that section. But he is last. I mean, there is a guy there's a guy in the shop, the saddle shop. He's listening to country music. That part I've been to. He's in that building there. There's some people arguing over here. It is pretty cool. Again, it's just because I've been here a million times, but I have not seen everything. I don't know, but I've seen most of the stuff I did. Anyway, they have these circular agriculture areas. They wouldn't be watering them this time of year. It's just 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have this watering system. But there is the come here, let's speed over it. There is the barn there. We're going to attempt to go through the barn in this aircraft. I've done it before. Doesn't mean I could do it again, but I've done it before. In this plane, it will fit through. It's not very big. There are definitely a lot of planes that are way too big to fit through that barn. But I know I've done it. I remember doing it. If I remember correctly, it's kind of hard. But on the other hand, this plane, because you got this tail rotor system, and then you can also have move this road around front, back, left, right. It's actually quite like you want to do a corded turn there. You get a real sharp turn. By the way, this is one of the ranch houses. There's quite a few. I think there's 8 or 9 different houses that are just have people for living in. Typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom kind of house kind of thing. A little border. That's one of them. That's one of the nicer ones though. All right. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Through the barn or bust, I say. Through the barn, we gotta get lower. Lower. Why is there a bush right there? We're fine. Hello. That's what it looks like to go through the barn. How you doing, Science? I think you've seen the ranch a bunch of times, but there's always something new up here. And for people who haven't seen it in terms of what you get as part of this ranch thing, there's also a little oasis up here. What's all that purple? It's like tires. It's stored. This guy here, I was looking at this guy here. He's in there. Yeah, he's chasing he's chasing a calf around with a lasso. I'd never seen that before. Should we go to the yeah, so you can see, you can see the crops. It's not snow. There's snow in the hills. We're at 6,800 feet. So this is where some of the other, I think this is probably where they keep fertilizer. These are fertilizer bins. Or pesticides, maybe. I don't know. Probably fertilizer. They're pretty cool, nicely detailed. Maybe water, even. Maybe they store water. But you mentioned that there's some other houses that are on the ranch land. And these are them. These are nice houses, too. Definitely people living here. There's a big American flag on it, in case you were wondering what country Wyoming is in. I'm having fun flying at low level and dangerous. Again, the thing you need to remember, like any system, is that it looks like you're at a nice low level, ground level, but the ground is at 6,700 feet, 6,800 feet, and that is quite high up. That means, at this altitude, you're going to notice, breathing is hard. If you're exercising, things like that, until you get used to it. If you're here for a couple weeks, a couple months, you probably won't stop noticing it. And then you go down to a coastal place like California, and the air feels thick and nasty. Okay, so there's the ranch. If we go up this cut here, not this one, the second one here, we'll go to where the little oasis is, and there's people car camping. At least there always have been before. I think there will be this time. We're going to land there using the short landing capability of this, and basically kind of all landing area. We'll say hi to them, and then we'll take off again and fly. I'll land in Diet Cokeville. Done it before, we're going to do it again. Anyway, okay, so there's the, and you can see how far it goes. All those different circular areas, and then there's the barn we went through, the ranch. It's a gorgeous little thing. I wish they did more of that kind of thing in the game, where, and there are some like that, but this is one of the more remarkable ones. The ranch, the Circle Beacon Ranch. I also have, you know, there's definitely some cool add-ons. That one in that Amboy, California one is pretty cool. So if we go up this canyon here, so we're heading to the east, I think. Starts getting even higher up, but there's a path up here. Why don't I make this here? So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna give it full power because even though, you know, that should be plenty of power, we're gonna need it to get up this little hill here. On the other side of this is where the campers are. It's definitely more turbulence here associated with kind of these winds. It might just be a windy day today. I'm definitely feeling the turbulence. We've got full power. He's got these updrafts, these downdrafts. They're fine. But if we go through this cut here, if I remember correctly, that's on the other side is where the little watering hole is that those air campers are going. It's a lovely day, but it seems to almost always be a pretty day at the Circle B Ranch. I mean, we can always change the weather. I just don't think is there a road down there? I don't think you can really get up here. Unless it switchbacks a lot. Uh-oh. Full speed ahead, Cap. We gotta get over this ridge here. I don't know if we're gonna do it. Well, I remember having trouble before getting over this thing here. It's not like we can, like, we're not like a helicopter. We're gonna have to kind of slide around this way, I think. Full power, though, to the warp nacelles. Yeah, with the helicopter, you can just give yourself more lift. Although we're getting this huge updrift now. I think now we just got another huge updraft. And that's where they are, right there. But you can see how the altitude is even higher. We're at almost 8,000 feet. But there you go. Now we can actually land. Boy, yeah, we're getting major updrafts and downdrafts here. It's a little hard to control. I'll land on this little path here if I can. It's about as gentle as you can land in one of these things. A little more power on this slight hill here. We're gonna hang out. Looks like there's always 3 people. One of them, the girl on the chair, is always the same, but the other 2 are kind of randomized from different possible character models. But they're doing their little thing there, and sometimes they're in quite colorful clothes. We're gonna get and say hi. Sometimes they're in quite colorful clothes. So we landed there. I should put our rotor brake on before we run around here. Rotor brake on. Okay. Leave the engine running. We're not gonna be here long. All right, so the tents are different colors, and these character models are different. There's quite a few different ones. I almost never see the same. These 2. On the other hand, this lady is exactly the same in the same position every single time, and she's quite pretty, I think. Kind of in love, slightly. I mean, wow. You know what I mean? That's a very, very, very appealing model for a game like this. And she's got torn jeans. I'm just saying. And then these tents, the shape of the tents is the same, but sometimes they're yellow and green, and you know. And then they came in this plane, which only has 2 seats, which means one of them was sitting in the other's lap. I don't want to think about it. It's not a real plane. It's basically a prop. Although it is. I mean, it is. It's not a prop. It's a real plane. It's got all the stuff, but it's not flyable, is what I can say. All right. So we said hi. We're gonna go back. We're gonna land at Diet Cokeville, just because it's fun. All right, back in the plane. Well, we never got out of the plane. You can see me and my lady here, hey, she's my training officer. Back in the plane. All right, so how we're gonna do is we're gonna basically turn around and head that direction because we're gonna want to head out. That's a cliff. That's a very steep cliff there. right before the cliff. Okay, is parking brake on or off? Parking brake is off. Good. More power. Make a turn around here. Because we're going to want to go this way and then kind of dive off this. It's going to be kind of dramatic. All right, so park here. Parking brake on. Rotor brake off. Give us some power, but not too much to cause your parking brake to be, And then we squeeze our handle there. Squeeze this little handle. There's a little handle. You can't see it because it's in the front of that thing. But we squeeze it, and as we do, we're diverting power to our rotor for the preheat, which is very important. So now I'm watching that LCD meter, 152, 169. Okay, we want to go. Whoop. That's fast enough now. Whoop. Already going this way. Whoop. It's good. Okay. And yeah, so you see that cliff we dived off of. Yeah, a little bit of side wind there. It's all good. And then you can come down this. Now we can reduce power a lot because now we're coming down, going the downhill road. You want to be careful not to over rotate. Like 500 or really 475 is about the limit. So I'm watching the rotation speed. What happens is you get faster. Boy, in these hills, boy, the turbulence at this altitude is just, I'm constantly fighting. You got it. So I got to maintaining a minimum speed is the only way to kind of fight your way out of these turbulent little zones here, which it is. But anyway, yeah, now I got some speed. Now it's a little easier. Now I'm watching, it's 451. Okay, that's good. 500 is too fast. I just don't want to Hello. That's some severe turbulence right there. Trying to power our way out of it. Boy, it's this, for whatever reason, right in this area, when you hit turbulence, it's like hitting a wall. It's hard to describe, but it looks like I'm making crazy movements intentionally. But as soon as we get out of this hilly area, it becomes quite smooth again. So the game is trying to simulate very turbulent winds, and we are a very light craft that's going relatively slow. So you will be affected by turbulence more than you would in a fixed-wing plane that goes a little faster. But a helicopter can also be affected by turbulence a lot, like that, where it's just real, whoa, that crazy stuff. All right, so up ahead, we're going to go over the town. Okay, let's get more power here. Just speed. There we go. About 70, 80 knots. All right. So there's the ranch, but there's the ranch. Okay, see the ranch over there? She's looking at the ranch too. Hello. Have you ever thought about getting a nose job? I shouldn't say that. She's probably sensitive about it. I mean, I think she'd be prettier, Anyway, cheers, Diet Coke. Hope you're enjoying your one and only Diet Coke of the day like I am. We're going to go land here at Diet Cokeville Municipal Airport. I didn't name it. That's what it's called. There's a little town there, and I think basically there's a bunch of different ranches in this area. So I think it's ranch, agricultural, ranch related, schools. There's a little house down there, but that's more of a shack. Okay. That's where the workers. Oh boy, it's a destroyed shack. You know what? I've never seen this before. I want to check it out a little bit. There's so many weird little details, but this is an actual destroyed shack that probably is on the premises. But look at the detailing needed to model a destroyed shack. Oh my! And I've never appreciated this before. I want to cry. I guess you can go in there. My God. Look at the detailing. It's all smashed to pieces. There's a car. It's rusted out. There's one of them chairs is broken. I can fix it. Give me some glue. I don't know what's going on here. All right, where's our plane? Here it is. That's really cool. There's all sorts of cool secrets around here. And I'm discovering that. But, from a distance, it doesn't look like much except for a shack. And then you get close up and you're like, yeah, it's a shack, but it's crazy. It's one of the most detailed things I've seen in the entire game. I mean, it's more detailed than Or at least, and then the main house over there is that main barn that has all the old refrigerator and all the old gas pump in it. You can see these guys are moving around here. You know, they're actually moving. They do make a circle. But again, this time of year is not irrigation time. You're not going to be planting until, you know, April or May. So you would not be pre-irrigating, I don't think. But yeah, it's a big state. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's very lightly populated, and that's how it is. Anything down there? Let's see if there's. We're a little too high up really to see if there's any cattle. I know there's bears around here, according to the book, but I don't know exactly where they would be. I always thought they're like over that area, but that area. Yeah, well, it's the small. I think for sure it's the smallest population density. Population density. I don't know if it's the smallest population. I think Alaska might. Well, Alaska would be smaller. I don't know. Yeah, it probably is. I would think actually, come to think about Alaska's population density is probably lower because Alaska's even bigger. But they're both very lowly. They're both more. You know, they're both the two lowest densely populated states because Wyoming's very big. Alaska is huge. But I don't know if more people live in Hawaii. There's another little house down there. I kind of want to explore it. There's a bunch of little tiny little structures kind of scattered around here that I always thought were like nothing, but may be something. You know, maybe stuff down there. A little tiny house like buildings. I've never really been on this section. Usually I come through that pass over there. It almost looks like there's. It's hard to describe. But this is a little bit more of a thing. You can see on the thing there's a bunch of power poles. I can't really tell what they are from here, but that's what they are. So here's where you get, so that's the town of Cokeville. There's another town, Taylor. There's a little river here. We really usually go down the other side, so this is kind of different for me. We'll come here, we'll go south, and then I almost come from that side and then land to the south. But we'll come to the south and then land to the north, just for change. And I feel like we have the time. But no, I'd really like coming out here. It's very evocative. It's very unique. It doesn't look like other places I've been to, California. While I wouldn't say this would be the most interesting place in the world to hang out. In the real world, in the game, it's really interesting. I find it quite fascinating. All right, you want to watch out for the power lines here. Okay, in the real world, it's the most dangerous thing about flying low is hitting that power line. You can end your day real quickly, and it does all the time. You can see how the power lines go. But that's why there are minimum flight altitudes, and we're usually breaking them. But fortunately, in the game, you can't actually hit a power line. It's a good thing, actually. What is down here? There's some kind of building down here. So that's the airport, but I want to go south of it anyway. I've never really gone here. Again, I don't really think there's much here, but might as well explore it while we're here. I know we've gone to the north. Here's more of these agricultural, radial agriculture, but these don't have any working. These aren't part of my ranch. So they don't have any working irrigation systems. But I want to see, there's kind of something up ahead that looks like a building. Or no, it's just a road. It's just the road. Okay. And then, boy, this is a really dark one. I guess during the winter months, they I don't know, maybe that's how they work. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it's just that road heads south, long ass way. But yeah, this is high country, but I guess all of Wyoming is pretty much the high country. I don't think there's anything, below a couple of thousand feet. I don't think it hits the plains. But yeah, I guess is Wyoming the big sky state? Always thought it's a cool slogan. I live in California. We live in the Eureka state. Eureka, I have found it. Or something. Okay, so there's that road. There's this road here. There's kind of a road there. The ranch is way back there. There's mountains over there. There's pretty. But yeah, not a lot around here. But we didn't pass over the town. We didn't really see the town. There is a town. It's pretty basic. You know what I mean? Just, I'm sure there's one grocery store, but that's it, kind of town, you know. But and then yeah, if you want to drive somewhere, it's a couple hours to anywhere. I think it's too. I would not be. I wouldn't have a huge problem with it, except that the internet's bad. Although nowadays with Starlink, I wonder if you can really be anywhere. I've heard that some people, Starlink is getting better for live streaming. Like you can really get a decent quality signal on Starlink. You used to not be able to, but they've been improving. Okay, here's the airport here. So we're right here. We're already here. So we're gonna come down here. The airport's right there. We're gonna land on this runway. Don't worry. Kind of know what I'm doing. Training pilots watching. A little more power. A lot more power. Basically, you're gonna land it just like a plane, if you want, like nice and, as opposed to a helicopter, which you basically hover in. I'm basically just kind of slowing down it. Like that. Oop. Make a right turn here, so go off the runway. There we go. That's fine. A little bit of a clump. All right, let me turn our rotor brake on. Rotor brake. Hello. It's getting some choppiness here in the sim, which has been known to happen right around here. Get rotor brake on. That's what it looks like from here. But yeah, even in the real world, I think these would be very sporty and fun to fly. Not necessarily the safe, safe. I mean, in terms of compared to other ultralights. But yeah, let's park in here where we always park. You can kind of see, I'm sure it's cold, but it doesn't seem to be snow covered. You got that steer wheel in front, so it does steer you. Oop, this uphill. And I'll show you some of the cool details of this plane because it's got a few minutes. Let me get out. That was a nice little flight. I think slightly uphill up here. Parked by the fueling area. All right, parking brake on, rotor brake on, start turning off systems here, let the engine come off, transponder off. You see that engine, that Rotex 912, it's 120 horsepower, or it's a 916, 160 horsepower. Rotex, they're Swiss-made, 4-cylinder, turbocharged aviation engines, very expensive. And then you can see there's two radiators. There's an oil radiator and a water radiator, cooling system, and that has a little fan on it. And then you can see the exhaust system on that side and the air intake system on the other side, like all the little cool systems. And then the top, right above the engine, you can kind of see where the rotor is kind of blocked now. It shows the whole gear system that siphons power off the engine just during that, just during the pre-rotation phase of the takeoff. So that you get the rotor going in the right direction at a good speed before you start your system. It's all modeled beautifully. These are real planes, and the Magni this is the Orion, but the Magni makes a bunch of variations, including a tandem version, a 2-seat tandem, but narrower, and one person sitting in front of the other. I believe there's a bigger one, a 4-seat version. That would be probably the biggest auto gyros ever made, because they're typically pretty small for various reasons. And yeah, they sell them to people who want to, have a really fun time. I think, more of people who are looking to fly, but not, again, there's no real cargo space, and it's not like you have a ton of range, and so you're not really going to be able to get in this plane and fly from California to Vegas and have a fun time at Vegas because it's not gonna hold your bags. So I don't really know what the purpose of it except to fly around and have fun. But in the game, hey, that's what we need. That's all you need. Perfect. And I just love the whole vibe. But we got to take a screenshot here. Let me get out of the plane here, so I can take. There's just nothing in the background, but so you want to get nice up and I like showing the details here. I'm getting up close here. Got to be on the Kench 9er side. And it has to be visible. There we go. It's really tricky to move these controls the way I want it. There we go. Nope, that's about as good as I'm going to do. I could sit here for another 25 hours making a screenshot, which I'll probably never look at again. You know what I mean? All right, well, that was a short flight. I almost feel like it was long enough to not do a second flight. I will do second flight sometimes. Although I don't know, I kind of feel like it. A second, it could be a quick flight over just about anywhere, you know. I don't know. Oh, that's some good Diet Coke, though. End flight. All right. I want to do something real quick, which is to get into a helicopter and fly somewhere like for 5 minutes. I just need to get my helicopter skills going a little bit better. Not the Cabri. This one's a monster, if I remember correctly. I've never even tried to fly that one, but I'm scared. There's there's one here that 125, I believe, is pretty good. Let's find out. See if I remember how to even fly these. Pick a livery. That one's pretty garish. There's a million. I think this one comes with literally 50. Oh, blue. Wow. Oh, red and white. Oh, yellow with tiger stripes. Heck yes. I think that's the one I always pick. So, but you know it goes. All right, not around here though. Just want to do a little quick get up and sit up and get down kind of flight. Maybe if it's real cloudy around here. Where is it less cloudy? Right around Tallahassee. Right around Tallahassee. What is this? Burrs Strip. It's like a helicopter. We're going to take off from a helicopter. What's this? Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. I don't know if I remember how to fly this, but we're going to find out. I think, I don't even remember if I know if I have my, this is just going to fly it and land it. Except by landing, I mean crash it. But the thing is, I never fly helicopters. And I've been like, every time I fly, I'm like, why did you ever fly the helicopters? Like a lot of people do and are good at it. And because they fly them. I mean, in the game, Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I've got all these lovely helicopters. And it's not like I don't like them. It's just, you can't really, you're always concentrating on, getting from point A to point B, and hovering is almost impossible. But okay, here, let's check this out. This is pretty. It's a beautiful day. I have live weather turned on. Okay, it looks like this helicopter, or the hospital is slightly post-apocalyptic, but not too bad. A big hospital complex near Tallahassee. Okay, this is what it looks like from inside here. You can see the window. You hear the whine of the turbine engine. We are gonna give it. Oh yeah, here we go. Got to do that. There we go. And we get some power here. Get some speed up for this bird here. This is what it looks like here. A little more collective. A little more collective. We're hovering. We're going to make a turn here. A rotor turn. That direction. And we're going to use a little more collective. We're going to head over to Tallahassee, which is that direction. So we're going to kind of hit the... Why is it not letting me pitch forward? It's not letting me pitch forward. Pitch forward now. It was like it's like really fighting to stick there. That's not gonna give you confidence. I think it'll let me go which direction I want to go, which is this direction here, I think. Right. Yeah, Tallahassee. Yeah, I remember I don't like flying these things. It's just stressful. You know, eventually you generate some, you generate kind of instincts. What is that thing there? A horn. Why is my horn on? I can hear it, and I see a thing that says horn. But I don't see a horn button. I'm not pushing a horn button. Alright, this is Tallahassee. Have we flown over Tallahassee before? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure whether the horn is going off or what. It says horn there. There's buildings. All right, you really see it from the outside. That's probably the main. That's Tallahassee. There's like a state house there or a capital city building. That's a really cool looking building there. Okay. All right, we're gonna land over Tallahassee International, and we're gonna try to hit the helipad. One of these is a throttle control because I have my thing turned on, and one of these is the collective, and I have trouble remembering which is which. I do this from out here. Oh, power, right? Yeah, I want to have more power, right? This is less power, more power. That seems to be more power, less power. Almost full power. I don't really know how that's gonna go. Ah! I'm learning as we go. Just trying to, not make any sudden moves here. Stay nice and low. Scary. We're real low. Also, what's going on here? There's another light just came on. Oh, just went off again. Yeah, that up-down motion, I'm not really sure where that's coming from. As we get faster, it seems to go down. But I don't know. Yeah, get some more airspeed here. But yeah, there should be plenty of room to land at the airport, Tallahassee International, which is just 3 miles away. Does have a higher total population. Wyoming, thank you for that, looking that up. I appreciate it. So quite a bit more people in Alaska than Wyoming. But as I mentioned, the density is going to be less in Alaska because I think Alaska is like 3 or 4 times bigger than Wyoming. So the person number of people per square mile is much less in Alaska. But those are the 2 lowest population density states by far, I think, because they're both large and don't have a huge population. What is that thing there? What am I hitting a limit on? Speed limit? I guess that's kind of a speed limit? I don't know. I want to stay low because I don't want to have to lose a lot of altitude. And we hit this landing pad here. Nice little lake here. It's probably pretty humid out here in Tallahassee, like most of the South. But yeah, here's the international airport, but we're just going to try to land. Yeah, most of it's going to be. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, the state population density is obviously kind of a fixed number. That's the international airport. It's a nice looking airport. Trying to make this landing here. This little field area over here. Not here. Over on the other side, please. Huh? Just trying to maneuver over to where I want to go, which is this other side, on the other side of this road here. We're getting there, though. Coming up. It's kind of a realistic touchdown sequence. This helicopter is definitely easier to hover in. That is the most gentle touchdown I've ever had in a helicopter. But the key is doing it from the inside. If you go to the outside, you're not going to have a good time. But I'm kind of curious. This is just bothering me. See, right in the middle of your face here, these what they call the enunciators. And these things will all say things like, oh, your engine's about to explode. Your oil pressure's low. You're running low on fuel. It says horn, and I kind of hear a horn. But I'm wondering whether there's a horn button on this thing here. Below floats. This has the floats. Hydraulics. Taxi lights. Because it would be on this thing here. Landing light. Turn that off. Throttle. Airflow. Maybe it's on this thing. Oh, there's this. Trim reset. Is there a horn? I don't even see anything that looks like a horn button, but you know, I'm kind of curious because I'm just wondering if there is a lamp. Yeah, along these things I've never seen before. I've never bothered to look at. Engine start, interesting. Okay, and there's the rotor brake. Well, I'm glad we did a little helicopter flight. I'm just checking out the interior views here. It looks good. I don't know if you can open the door here. Actually, I think you can open the doors in these, right? It looks pretty good, too. And it doesn't force you to go outside. You can open that door, too. And it looks great from the outside. You've got those beautiful, huge open door spaces there. Yeah, and then you don't even have to leave. All right, so if I was going to shut the engine down, what would I do? Alternator off. Try turning off all these off. Actually, I think up here, right? You turn this. Well, let's start. Is the engine actually turning off now? I don't think it is. Oh, this thing here, right? Isn't there a fuel valve close? And then we can put our rotor brake on, right? Oh, no, not yet. Gotta wait for it to slow down a bit. I thought I turned. Okay, master battery off. I don't care. Interesting what all these things do. Fuel pump, don't need it. All that stuff should be off. Collective is 0. Oh, and this stuff should be 0. The throttle is 0. Got it. There's that hot air entry. Okay, we should be able to turn on the rotor brake now, right? No? The engine's not turning off. Yeah, I must not have done something to close the fuel valve. You'd think that would turn it off. I've never even started this plane, much less shut it down. Okay, there's those. Let's see. If I go up close, will it show me anything here? Okay, those should be off. Battery is off. But, and also the, that's got to be a bug, because I closed the fuel valve. I don't know if there's an on-off master on the thingy here, or one of those. Panel option. Oh, interesting. Different panel. Okay. There's a high-tech panel and a low-tech panel. Downwash effects. This is interesting because I've never really checked all this stuff out before. But yeah, I don't know why the engines aren't shutting off. I mean, These are all off. Oh yeah, what are these? Searchlights. Okay, a lot of buttons. Check them out. It's fine. But you'd think it'd be up here. It's closed. That's closed. Fuel shut-off valve. I don't see any other engine-related controls. Up there, there's this, but that's the starter. And it's off, which it should be. Test. I don't know what that's for. Yeah, the rotor brake won't operate when the engine's on, but I turn the engine off. I'm just having a good time. I'm trying to see if eventually I can figure out what button you need to press to turn. But I bet there's some. Well, I wonder if there's a checklist that would show you. Mirror position. Wow. Just thinking about all these. See, it's just started to. The RPM just started to go down. As if it finally decided that there's no fuel. Maybe it's also, oh yeah, sometimes there's on the throttle here. There's a cutoff position that you need to do something special to get. But no, it's finally decided, the engine decided to shut off. So I believe we'll be able to use the rotor brake now. Let's find out. No? Or the rotor? No, it's slowing down on its own. That's kind of buggy. I think once it gets below like 25, I think we can use the rotor brake. There's some algorithmic prevention there. It's a beautiful helicopter, though. Like all of them. I think we can do it now. No, almost there. 25. There you go. No, I guess you cannot use the rotor brake unless you have some. You know the trick. Maybe the engine has to be on to do the braking. No, I think the braking is manual. It doesn't matter. All right, that was fun. All right, moving on with the stream. Boy, we're streaming for hours. I don't care. Why not? Just getting going here, but I am moving into the just chatting category for a bit because there'll be no actual flying till next time, which will be Wednesday. The next stream that you might see flying would be the Wednesday. Today is the Monday stream. I don't stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but every other day I like to get a stream in if I can, and that means more flying, more big brain games, and more music. But for now, let's get me some big brain games here. Hello. So set up the Quirtle. That's the first. As I mentioned in the top of the stream, that's the warm-up game. I like to do them in a specific order for no particular reason, just to please my OCD. Oops, crumb. And I use the same 3 starting words for these 5-letter games. Okay, this could be canal, right? C-A, because we know it doesn't have any other vowels, and we know it has an N and an L. And then we have, this one could be jelly or belly. A bunch of things I could see on the upper right. So let's leave that. Now we hear here, let's see. This could be A-L-S-E, right? So it could be false, right? Let's try false. I think it could be something else. But false is most likely. Let's see. F isn't used anymore, but that's fine. And then we get N-A something A-L. So that's going to be naval. Oops. N-A, right? V? I think it's got to be naval. Excuse me, naval. All right. So we're going to guess belly. Or no, it can't be belly, but it could be jelly. It could be jelly like that, right? It was. All right. Brain game number 1 down. Cheers. Let's have some Diet Coke. The weekly challenge has been unlocked. That's one. It's just an extra game. All right, let's just do the weekly challenge real quick. I got plenty of time, but it's exactly like the other game in that it's just going to be 5 different words, or 4 different 5-letter words. All right, this one here is going to be easy. It's going to be laps, lower left. That'll be easy. The weekly challenge isn't particularly hard. Let's see. something, S-I something E-N, but what? Because siren, there's no R. I don't think it is. If it's not S-I, then it ends in I, which is kind of weird. What word this is going to be here? I think it is S-I, but it doesn't necessarily have to be E-R. It could be S. Oh, it could be sinew. Let's see. Okay, last one here. This one could be gully or dully. That was gully. All right. Anyway, that's just an extra game that we do on the Mondays. All right. The next one is the reveal. This isn't always an interesting game. Actually, it's not always that interesting. All right. We've got to figure out what the answer is. It's the categories: arts and culture. Excuse me. We got 3 words in the answer. And you can see the first word, blah, blah, blah. Some number of letters. Looks like 9 letters in the middle word and 5 in the third. All right. The thing we're looking for is an American something, 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 starring a trio of something who possess something. Something defenders of the fictional something, something consists of the blank, level-headed blank, and the sweet blank, and often underestimated blank, and the quick-tempered blank. According to the blank lore, the good-hearted blank blank was attempting to blank perfect little blank in his blank when a blank blank called blank was accidentally added to the blank. Trio of... Okay, it's an American television show. I don't know if I know this show. It seems like an obscure television show. All right, let's see. It's a trio of what? Let's see that one. Kindergarten age. Wow. So this is a kids show. It's not the Teletubbies. And it wouldn't fit. The trio, no. Defenders, I don't think I know this one. Oh, I'm going to guess something that fits. Powerpuff Girls. Hey, how you doing? I think I could have used you for that one. Because how am I supposed to know it's the Powerpuff Girl? But the key is it's a television show and kindergarten age. Where I almost thought I was never gonna get that one. But yeah, no, that was good. We needed one thing. Let's see, we need one reveal, one hint. Again, I've never seen an episode. It's just I don't know. Other players needed a relatively large number of reveals and hints, the 4.5 and 1.7, and a relatively small number, less than 70% means it's a hard one. Because there's plenty of people who have absolutely no idea who that is. Even I don't, but for some reason, part of it is just the number of letters. I figured it was the something, and then it's an American animated TV show. I wouldn't have if I'd done Buttercup. It wouldn't mean anything to me. Professor Utonium would have meant nothing to me. Kindergarten age was actually the really good one because I knew I had to think of kids shows. All right, that was fun. All right, the next game is going to be the Tightrope Trivia. You can't help me on that one because it's timed. Now, Monday's quiz is the easiest one. They grade them from easiest to hardest, so the easier questions should occur today, Monday. By the way, happy No King's Day. It's a holiday. It's why I'm not at work. Well, I normally would be working from home anyway, but I have my computer off. True thumbs as wrist spoons and grip the plant shoots that they eat. They eat shoots and leaves, those pandas do. They're murderous. On the show of Saturday Night Fever, not Grease. Some of those are John Travolta movies. I remember that light up dance floor. That was cool. So it says Spartacus. Anyway, you got to get these fast and right. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can because your timing is a huge part of your score, the biggest. Flotus, symbol of enlightenment. Just 7 to make what popular cocktail? Frozen margarita. I have no idea, but I'm just trying to guess here. Well, I don't know if I'd call it frozen margarita pop. Stop the melting point of snow. Only of those four, only salt's gonna lower the melting point of snow. Build the bank. The British government of the president's inept of those. The only one that really fits. New Colossus can be titled as with part of it was the Statue of Liberty, of course. These are much easier than the Sunday questions, that's for sure. Inspired by what megastar's own alter ego? I think it was Beyonce, but that's kind of a guess, and it took me a little while to get to that. But hey, that's a 9 out of 9. We call that a win. I don't know if my score will be super high again. We don't get the bigger difficulty bonus because it's a Monday game, so we only get 200 difficulty points, and that makes it easier to get these higher scores, or harder, excuse me, harder to get the higher scores. We made Walking Encyclopedia and Clever Funambulist today. That's the highest ranking. It's all cited with this on there. You need 2,200 points, I believe, to get Clever. Maybe it's 1180 or 2180, but I think it's 2,200. Clever Funambulist. So that's a big win on the today's tightrope or the tightrope trivia. All right, the next game is the Revealed. It's a fun game. I like the Revealed. Oh, sorry, we did the Revealed. I meant the Reunion. Did I call it the Revealed? The Reunion is a kind of like this crossword puzzle game. Oh, this is interesting. This might be kind of an easy one today. We got a lot of green letters. Theoretically, it's the same number of green letters every time. But let's see. This word here, right at the top, is S blank O-R. I'm trying to think how many words, how many letters, because I think there's a T and there's a P. It could be sport, but it can't be short because there's no H available. Let's see, what else do we know? This T has to appear here. The A has to appear here. I think this A has to be here. And then this word here is going to be PA something. Has to be PA something CA. And it can't be an E, right? PAEC? No. Can it be a T, though? Pat. No, see, I think it's pancake on the upper right, on the right side going down. I was thinking there was a T there, but I couldn't think of a word but pancake does fit here, and there is an N. So we're just going to make pancake, because we also have a K and an E available. And now we know there's a word S something O-R-N. And the only thing that's going to fit there is sworn. So we're going to make that. So far, we've got 5 moves in, and all 5 have been productive. We're trying to get this in 17 or less. 17 is par. But anytime you make a mistake, that sets you back. Like if you put a letter in the wrong place. We know this T on the bottom is on the row, but the E could be on the row or the column. The T could be the beginning, and it could end in like an ECT. And then we have this word. We have to kind of figure out where the hedgehog and the fox are going to end up, because they're always next to each other. I almost wonder whether it's going to be where it is and where this E is. No, no, it can't be that, because it has to be a 3-letter word there. Okay, so it can't be there. Oh, I was going to think about this a bit. Or no huge hurry here. Let's see. I mean, it can't be, it's a vowel here. It can't be an I or an E, or they wouldn't be white. It could be an A. or a U, because the U could move there. But then it'd be uff. And I don't think it is. TP, that's interesting. I think this word is going to be a foul. And I think it's possible. Yeah, this can't be TP because this P wouldn't be white. The P would be yellow because the P would have to go here. So I don't think it's TP, but I think this is going to be an A here, right here where the fox is. So let's just see. Okay, yeah. So I think the W, because there's a free W, isn't there? Oh no, there isn't. I thought there was another W, because that's what made me think it was AFOWL, but now I'm seeing this not. So that was AFOUL. I'm sorry, you don't need a W, you need a U. All right, so we have a foul, and now I'm thinking that the fox and the dude are down here, and here, which is fine. This word here, up here, what's the word at the top? Something, in which case this is going to be a 7-letter word, and I think it's going to be scalp, SCALP. So it's just what pops out to me using the available letters. Oh, it wasn't scalp because the L did not turn green. It was scamp, right? That's the only other thing it could be. All right, well, that wasn't good. We're down a move, but it is what it is. All right, this has to be a foul, so there's definitely nothing here. And I have a feeling the other thing is going to go there. So again, I think this T has to go here. This E has to go here. This is going to be suspect. And then, you know what? Maybe it is TP. No. It's... Right, okay, well, there's no... It's not... The hedgehog's going to be there and there. So it's going to be... Or maybe I'm not. Or maybe I'm wrong about where the hedgehog's going to be. Either way, it's going to take more than 17 moves, but that's fine. I just want to figure out what this is. Okay, we have a T, L, and I, and E to place. So this could be title on the bottom. I think right. It says, yeah, the bottom, it's not, this is a word. It's title. TP was an interesting possibility. And then that makes eel. We hit 17. Now, I could have hit 16 if I didn't make a mistake. But, mistakes can be made. So here's what it looks like. So, yeah, the dude, it did make a foul, but the fox was there, the hedgehog was there. They always have to be next to each other at the end. That's why the game is called Reunion. But we made eel magically when we did that thing. But yeah, title at the bottom, not TP. Interestingly, I didn't know what it was until at that last second there. All right, we are admiring our reunion before we move on to the next game, which is the New York Times Connections. Let's just dive right in. It's got a couple more games to go. All right, we got to form 4 affinity groups from these 16 words. But be careful, there's misdirection and wordplay in play. And sometimes there's like a 5th affinity group, which makes sense, but it's the wrong one. You know what I mean? That's why maybe I misdirection. All right, let's read these out and see what screams out to us, if anything. Buck. That could be a lot of things. Scream. Doe or do could be 2 things. Laugh. Fawn. Doe, the other doe, like doe a deer. Do re mi. Flight. Squawk. Hoot. Fight. Riot, doe, freeze, cackle, doe, the other doe, so we have doe, and doe, or do. We have 4 different does, but they're probably not, it's probably not homonyms of a doe, because it's all the does. Anyway, it might be. And cluck. Oof. Huh. Interesting. We got a few interesting things here. Whoa, got some interesting things. I'm gonna shuffle them for one thing because I always like to. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. I'm thinking a few things. Let's see, like a fight, a riot. You like cluck, hoot, cackle, and squawk are as bird sounds. I do kind of. I was thinking that too. I mean, yeah, cluck, squawk, cackle, or right, cluck, squawk, cackle, and um, hoot as an owl. The hoot sound for an owl. Yeah, it's got to be bird sounds. One away. That's not. Oof. So which one of these is not a bird sound? Which one? Cluck, squawk, cackle, but this is going to be a hard one. I can tell already. All right, let me leave that up while we think of a different one because we don't want to. I want to think of something completely different. Let me just think of what we got here. A dawn, buck, doe, and blank. Dawn. Or you mean fawn. Yeah, fawn, buck, fawn, a buck, a doe. And then what would be the, I see what you're saying, that what would be the fourth, though? It would be some kind of ruminant, right? Do any of these, yeah, none of these other ones would fit that. I see what you're thinking too, by the way. Fawn, buck, doe, and a fourth one. I think laugh, hoot, scream, and riot. Let's try that. Laugh, hoot, scream, and riot. Come on, give us a match. Knee slapper. All right, that helps again because yeah, it moves some things out. And we still have squawk, cluck, cackle. But what would the other? Remember, doe is a type of deer. Do is either do or the do re mi fa sol la ti. This could be kind of mother. Doe is what Simpson says, but we still have all four homonyms for, homonyms are the same thing. I just don't know if they're going to be the same thing. And I don't know what the fourth sound is, right? And as far as a buck, a doe, a fawn, what's the fourth one of those? It's kind of interesting. I like it. Let's see. Let's see. What if I want to start thinking in terms of antecedent and precedent words, meaning one word that goes before or after four of these words. So like antifreeze. I don't think anything here would be anti or freeze dried. I don't see anything else there. A fight, a do, fear responses. Yeah. Responses to fear. That is actually that I kind of was getting in that way, but freeze, flight, fight, or scream. Wait, or squawk, right? Maybe it's do. I bet. Because, yeah, it would be scream. Let's try it. One away. It's got to be freeze, flight, fight, Oh, right. Scream is already used. But I mean, this has got to be. I don't remember. Let's just. Yeah. I mean, this is taking too long. Yeah. Uh, we'll figure it out because it'll tell us. I like it when they're hard, but yeah, we're not gonna get today's. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I mean, I know for sure. Um, let's see. Let's just see if it's do, 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 and do. Let's just see, maybe. Yeah, okay, it was homophones. That seems like the easy, obvious one, and it is. It's the green one, which we should have got right away. But I just thought that was classic misdirection. Uh, it might be fawn, freeze, flight, fawn, and fight. But and then we still have squawk, cluck, cackle, and I think responses from a chicken could be freezing as well. No, or it could be flying away. This is really hard because I know we guessed one of these already. I think it might be buck. Let's just try it. I don't know why. Sounds of chicken make buck. I guess buck is a chicken sound. Well, we actually did it today. I don't know what freeze, flight, flight. Oh, and fawn. I was thinking yes. These are fight. These are responses to fear, stress, distress. I think that was a hard one, and we all agree it was a hard one. But I actually did complete it, and we had one left. But that's one of the hardest ones we've done in a while. All right, there's one game left, and that will not be stressful. I mean, that wasn't stressful. I thought it was fun. It's the Octurtle. Wait a minute, I missed it. It was an Octurtle, not this one. Octurtle. I'm just gonna do one of these. Just gonna do the hardest one every day. I like to do the hardest one. It's called the Rescue. Let's just see if we can do this. These are harder. I only get about like 60% of these. Let's see. I'm looking here. I think we should be okay without having to do a strategy word because we already have UTIE, right? So that's got to be QT. That's the only other. That's the only word that has an UTIE in the dictionary, and that gave us the C, which is very helpful. Now we know that this word is going to be CAUL something. Caulk, CAUL, has to be caulk, right? Okay. And now we know, let's see, there's a C to be placed here. It could be matcha, MACHA, or macho. Because there's a macho. Let's try macho. Come on, baby needs a new. There we go. And the O is useful there. Of course, we knew the O was in there, but let's get that's gonna be the hard one. Let's guess this one here. There's a W and an E, but we also know there's an I and a D. So it could be, but there's no K, so it can't be wicked. It could be wind, WINED. It could be widen because the N's available. Let's try widen. I think that's more likely than wind. I was right. D was available, but it's not used in any other word, so it's not super helpful. This one should be easy. It's BIL something. It's E's. BIL, something that isn't here, and E. So it's going to be bilge. G was used somewhere. Interesting. Something Joe. This GO. And there's no other vowels, and although we haven't used Y. Oh, and there's an R in it. I think this word's going to be forgo. That's a word. FORGO. That is a word. And that was really good because that F appears in a bunch of our words that we didn't know till now. The two remaining words. Both of them have an F in it. Nice. This word on the upper right, FUN, I think it's going to be funny. And I was correct because we hadn't used the Y yet. Oh, now we've gotten really good shape because now we know that the Y ends this word. And it has an F, an L, a T, and an E in it. So it's going to be lefty. Oops, lefty. Lefty, right? Yes. Can't be anything else. It's all spelled out for us. All right. Not only did we win today's rescue, but we had an extra word. Hey, I'm going to call that a win on the connections. That was a hard connections. I honestly thought that they had do, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's obviously not a category. You know what I mean? It's like they're messing with your brains, and I don't have that many brains. I only have the one brain. What seems to be functioning today, and I'm pretty happy about that. All right, the next thing that's going to happen is I am going to, look at this connections puzzle. That's some crazy stuff. We barely made it. Fawn, fight, flight, and freeze. But fawn is the one that doesn't seem like a stress response. Cackle, cluck, and squawk, chickens make. But you remember buck? Buck, 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 buck. Makes sense once you see it. It's all super easy once you've seen it. But then until you've seen it, it's like, ready. Yeah, okay, I got to go to the music category. Today is a guitar stream. I'm looking forward to playing the guitar. I'm talking guitars, sing a little karaoke maybe. All right, yeah, we're in the music category. I'm going to run a mid-roll, though, take a little break, and we'll see you on the other side of that. Thanks for sticking around. How you doing? Let's get this set up. I don't know. It's about normal, about regular. Got a little setup here. Yes, we got audio and the music category. Got the cape on. It says really smooth sound with a capo on it. Let's see. We're gonna start working again. He's got a mechanical iris. That's why it's so dark. It's starting to fail. Just replace it. Anyway, welcome to the guitar stream. I'm gonna play some guitar. Talk guitars. I have like about 15, roughly 15 guitars. But you know, there's about 10 of them that I regularly play. Some I don't, for various reasons, aren't in the rotation. But this one is. It's a Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, made in America. Tribute model. They made a bunch of different tribute models, and most of them are tributes to Les Paul. This was not one of them. This is basically a tribute to the studio. It's a higher end studio. It's 2017 model. This is back when you could get an American made Les Paul for under $1,000, you know, for $900 with a case kind of thing, which I did. I was like, yeah, I should take advantage of that. Yeah, this camera's not going to get any lighter today, right? I mean, I want to try a few things here. If I switched here. And go back, it's gonna be hard for it. It's not really gonna do anything. Let me do this one here. It's not really taking any adjustments. I'll just quickly adjust it manually while I'm looking at it here. This camera here, properties, configure video. We're just gonna give it like this. We'll make a huge change in it, right? Yeah, it's basically acceptable there. Oh, it changes the frame rate though when I do it that way. Yeah, there's another way to do this. I keep forgetting. Leave that at -5. But we're going to put the brightness up, and most importantly, the gain, right? Put gain up to about there. There we go. Actually, that's really, we really want this about here, and the gain should be up to about there. Maybe that's how it should be, like all the time. I don't know. I just need to adjust my settings and my little thing. That's about right. It's not quite balanced. Kiss me down by the broken treehouse, swinging take the trail marked on your father's map. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken treehouse. Swing me upon its hanging tire. Swing, swing, swing the spinning step. You wear those shoes, I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hands, strike up the band, and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me. Kiss me down by the American treehouse. Lead me upon its hanging time. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. So kiss me. Great song. I want to do another song where I just kind of accompany the guitar here. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been a ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Now mothers, tell your children not to do as I have done. I spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. I got one foot on the platform and another foot on the train. I'm going down to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Oh, there is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. You can say this is a New Orleans shirt, but it's not. It's a Mobile, Alabama shirt. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you. I love doing that song for some reason. It's kind of it's not a very hard song. I had to have, plus I accidentally screwed up and memorized all the lyrics. The other one I like to do. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they are as empty as my promise seems to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do, and I blame you. No one bites back as hard on their anger. None of my pain and woe can't show through. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. Thank you. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. When my fist clenches, crack it open before I use it and lose my cool. When I've smiles, please tell me some bad news, or I laugh and act like a fool. And if I swallow anything evil, put your fingers down my throat. When I shiver, please give me a blanket. Keep me warm, let me wear your coat. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. Yeah, if you have a bass, thank you for your question, I'll be out. If you have a bass, they almost never have a switch, even if they have multiple pickups. But electric guitar, unless it's got only one pickup, those are very rare. It's going to have a switch. This typically is a 3 or 5 position switch. On a Stratocaster, you got 3 pickups. It's typically going to be a 5-position slide switch, but it could be various things. But usually it's a 3-position switch. It's very simple. This switch here, you're only getting the bottom pick. Well, you get to what they call the treble pickup. This, when you switch it down, you're getting the neck pickup. And there's a different set of volumes and tone controls, and then the middle is both pickups. Middle, both pickups, another different combination. How good am I at piano? Well, you're going to find out next time we do a piano stream if you come by. I consider myself a lounge piano act level piano. I could probably be a professional. A junior doesn't have it. Yeah, a left ball junior doesn't have one. It's only like, yeah, junior wouldn't have. I think a junior's one pickup, right? It's a single pickup. Is just the negative. It's very simple. But yeah, just about everybody's going to have a 3-position selector. I'm pretty good at the piano. I mean, I've been playing piano for 50 years. I actually been playing guitar and piano for about the same. Like, this guitar is out of tune. I'm going to switch over to a little karaoke activity here. Give me a second here. Congratulations by Mac Miller. I'd have to look at that. Oops, hold on a second here. Yeah, way out. There we go. All right, sorry, wrong screen there. This is the one I wanted. Piano portion of Congratulations by Mac Miller. Thank you for the song recommendation. I'm not going to listen to it on stream for copyright reasons. I only listen to copyright music on the rock. It's a long story. But I will listen to it after the stream. Let me bring it up so I don't forget. On my YouTube, on my other screen here. Because often people do stuff and I'm like, wow, that ended up being really fun and interesting to learn. Okay, there's a Post Malone song. Oh, is it a piano song? Okay, and there's a piano cover. There's an easy piano tutorial. Okay, this is the song. 37 million views. That's what we'll hear. You'll hear it through the speakers. "9 Years" from The Divine Feminine.
The Divine Feminine, an album by Mac Miller.
This song I know. I felt the highs and they feel like you. See a love like
I'm just trying to get the vibe here. Okay, all right. It's kind of jazzy, which is my area. Yeah. Come on, tune me up. All right. Do this little patented thing. It's not patented, but as far as I know, I'm kind of one of the few people who does this. It's where I bring up karaoke songs on YouTube. Here, we'll start with Sister Golden Hair tonight. And then I sing and play my guitar along to the... Yeah, you'll get the picture. I mean, it's not that hard. Except, I don't know. You know, playing guitar and singing at the same time... Okay, for this song, I like to set capo 2, and you got the iconic intro to the song. Goes like this. Well, the next piano stream is Wednesday, but I don't know if I'll have it by then. Yep, we'll figure it out. It's one of my all-time favorite songs, so let's see, we got the right volume level. Synced it. Well, I tried to make it someday, but I got so damn depressed. I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise. I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one more correspondent. I've been doing All right, what's this song? Actually, you know what? I want to do a different REM song. I really like REM, and we do REM every time. But the REM song in Pacific doesn't have to be the same one every single time. This one is particular. I want to do Strange Currencies, which I haven't done in a while, and it's a goodie. It's a goodie, I think. Okay, let's go. That's fine. I gotta sync that up there. That's the opening. I don't know why you're mean to me when I call on the telephone. I don't know what you mean to me. I wanna turn you on, turn you up, wanna figure you out, I wanna take you on. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Now a fool might be my middle name. I'd be foolish not to say. Gonna make whatever it takes. Bring you up, call you down, sign your name. Secret love, make it mine. Take you in, make you mine. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Ooh. I tripped and fell. Did I fall? What do I feel? Wanna feel it now. You know, with love comes strange currencies. Here is my appeal. I need a chance, a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a word, and not a little break just to fool myself, just to catch myself and make it real. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Ooh, these words, you will be mine. These words, hunt me down, catch my throat, make me pray to say life's goodbyes. Ooh. Such a great song. Thank you for me learning it. I'm glad I learned it. It's there's so many REM songs that I barely even know, much less have not learned. I really got to get into it. We should do Painted Black. It's kind of a fun one. I believe they want me to capo to this one. To play it in the key I like to play it in. I feel like I play D minor, but it's D minor. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn back. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. And I look hard enough into the setting sun. Love will ride with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. Nobody's supposed to have. It's a really depressing song. You should not be having fun with it. It's illegal to have fun with it. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know why I have such a good time doing that song. Well, if I don't do Amy, it's really not a show, but I gotta end soon. I can see why you think you belong to me. I never try to make you think that you see one thing for yourself. And you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See how long that I might keep you for my own. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't think the time was right for us to find. All things we thought were proper could be right in time, and let's see which way we should turn together or no. I can never see what's right or what is wrong. Don't take too long to see, baby, what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. now. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love with you. That's a hard part to sing, actually. I like it though. I have a good time. By the way, speaking of Amy, I'm going in March to see the Eagles at the Sphere. What's that have to do with anything? Vince Gill, who's the lead singer on that song, is effectively a touring member of the Eagles now. And like a couple weeks ago, apparently Joe Walsh had an ankle injury, and Vince Gill effectively covered for him. They did a Vince Gill song. I don't know if they did Amy or a different song. I don't think they're going to do Amy. Okay, so I sang "Kiss Me" as an a cappella song earlier, but this will be, I guess this will be the last song. There she goes, there she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. Oh yeah, that's been there for a while. There she goes, there she goes again. Just can't contain this feeling that remains. I just love that song. I just in love with that song. I don't think, and I have been since probably the first time I heard it. All right, I got to get out of this here. Face cam only, and move this to the blue, take the headphones off. Wow. Well, I got some important news to import. We had a really good time. Yeah, I remember you say you saw the Eagles in Kansas City, and he just started. Yeah, that was a while ago now. Yeah, he's been in the band for a while, but I guess it's going to be, Don. Glenn Fry is dead. Don Henley's around. Joe Walsh. There's a couple, and then Don Henley's one of their sons is they're in their 70s. But yeah, so they said the Eagles added 2 shows at the Sphere, 2 more. They've been doing they've done about 40, And they're like, oh, we're not gonna have more shows. And then they added 2 more, but they said they're not gonna add any. They're gonna stop in 26 is gonna be the last year for the Eagles. Just last chance to see it. And I've never seen them before, so I'm really kind of excited about seeing the Eagles. Anyway, here's the beautiful satin gold top Les Paul. This is, by the way, it's not binding. You can see the edge of the maple. Okay, so there's a maple cap on a mahogany body, which of course is the classic. And you can see the maple in here in the thing. You can see how it gets a little thicker. That's because it gets thicker. It's how it's cut. It's a flat. But it's really cool that instead of binding, because binding would make it a much more expensive guitar. And also the typical gold top that you'll see on a standard, the old style gold top is glossy. It's not satin. They'll put it's thicker and they'll put a lay over it. But again, this is why it's a less expensive. This is why it's under $1,000 American made guitar. And I love the satin look, and I just love the faux binding, the maple binding. And of course, this is a beautiful back. I like a guitar that has a beautiful backside. So I'm going to read out my friend Taylor on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, I don't think anybody is. I'm going to read out my friend Taylor. But before I do that, I'm going to say, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Carol Burnett outro. See you guys next time. Like Wednesday.